Hello dear ScreenFlow, I would like to request a feature regarding the actions over here and more specifically the style presets. So currently the way that this feature works is that you add an action, all right, and then you adjust this action to have it some specific dimensions, right? Then you go over here and then if you want to add a style preset, you click the plus button. It shows you all of the things that you changed, all the presets, and then you add it. So now if you scroll all the way down, there it is a new style, right? So now we can go ahead and rename it to new, for example, and now we are familiar with where this lies, right? So if I click this, it's going to apply it, but if I click and drag this, I would like to be able to move it to the top, because otherwise the way that this works is, and next time I add an action, I hit this button over here, then I scroll all the way down, then I find the new, it's a long process, and the actions should be available and there right up front, because it's one of the features that I use a lot, and I think it's an extremely underrated feature, because this provides a lot of ease of use and versatility. Otherwise you have to manually preset something every single time, which is no, it should always be the opposite way around. As a matter of fact, you should have a bunch of presets which you can tweak, right? You should have button, zoom in, zoom out, 100%, 200%. And I'll get to that in just 1 second. And then you'll be able to tweak those settings later on. That it should really go the other way around. So anyways, so what else can we do here? We have the ability to update this action. That is really great. So if you change some settings, then we hit update. That's going to change this action. And I'm taking full advantage of this. So I have two first in line, so that way they're going to be on top all the time. Whenever I do any changes, I'm going to go ahead here, I'm going to hit update this action, so it's always going to be on top. I also added a keyboard shortcut, which is Control+1. That way, whenever I'm working on a project, I create a new action and I can update it here, and then I can apply it by pressing Control+1, and then secondary action Control+2. So that's the way I work around with it at the moment. However, this system can be improved a lot. Now I'm going to whip out my Photoshop and I'm going to show you some examples of what I think it should look like. So here you're going to see a new part appear. It says action presets right over there. And if we click on that, it's going to expand. And you have this option here. Let me just take away these colors so that it looks like that. Yep. And then the actions would be over here. They should be able to be clicked and dragged in order to be rearranged. So that'll be much easier. Then if it's possible to also add colors, so that'll be easier to sort them out. Then once you click an action, right, that is going to apply to the full timeline. But if you click and drag, you'll be able to create an action, a piece of the timeline. The same thing happens when you press the action button over here. If it's not possible to click and drag, then we have a plus button over here to add this sort of action, and then we can apply one of these presets. So that's one way of doing it. Another really valid way of doing it is to add a whole new section over here, and I'll show you how that will look. Right, this. So a whole new section of actions, right, just like this, which have video callouts, audio, video motion. All of the options here will have their own actions. And I forgot to put the little plus button over here, but just imagine it's there for now. And yeah, so this will make it a lot easier. So while working with the application, you don't really need to use any of the top features here anymore, because all of your actions are going to be in one place. Only the items that you use most of the time. For example, I don't use 90% of the features on top. I only have 4 or 5 things that I repetitively use. And if having a system like this would be implemented, it would change this application 100%. Imagine having all your workflow in one window. Well, 2, because you still need the media. But other than that, everything that you do should be in just one window. It'll be the easiest thing in the world. It's going to elevate this application not by 10%, but by 100%. Maybe I'm speaking too highly, and maybe this is just something that I use a lot. But I've considered this kind of approach to an application much more useful than settings first. So if you have buttons first and settings second, imagine on your phone, in order to make a phone call, you would have to go to your settings, open up some a special phone application, then say that you want to make a phone call, then basically type in all the manual settings. Whereas in reality, you have icons for that, right? On your phone, you just press on it and it makes a phone call or it opens an app. So buttons first, second, settings second, I think would be a great approach which could improve this application and skyrocket its productivity.